Life is a better place if you choose to set the pace. I know that it comes with ups and downs. On a daily we have to fight, try to live and to survive. Another day to get the drive. At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain. You'll be fine, you'll be okay. You'll be fine, you'll be okay. You'll be fine, you'll be okay. Spicy with Phina.
Freedom is a right ultimately defended by the sacrifice of the one you have chosen to do life with. But another quote says that a man who would sacrifice his freedom for security deserves neither. This somewhat underlines the core of our story today, of a woman who is caught in between a tough decision to sleep with a man who has the power to release her husband, her jailed husband, and secure his release, or refuse and let her husband rot in there. Which would it be, the devil or the deep blue sea? I'll tell you all about the story. We have to go on a quick break, and when we come back, I'll give you a lowdown of the story. This is Spicy with Phina.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Ufot is a popular, talented Nollywood actor, writer, and model. The Akwa Ibom-born actor have featured in lots of movies such as Pandora's Box, Fifth Floor, Jump and Pass, and so on. Mara Unogu is from Inkwere local government area of Imo State. A graduate of linguistics from the University of Benin, she is a producer, content creator, an actor, and a businesswoman.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Welcome back, it's Spicy with Phina, and we have a very, very interesting story for you. As you can see, you've met my guests. They are seated. Let me start with the man. I'm sorry. I don't want them to say I am a feminist.
I'll have to say ladies first. I'll have to say ladies first.
Ladies first after the man. Mara, how are you?
I'm fine.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Ofof, I
Spicy with
am honored,
Phina.
Honored to have you.
I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you so much. I have a story.
Okay.
Let me read the story so we can just, proceed with the conversation. Good day, Phina. Please keep me anonymous. I am caught up in a serious problem, and I really need useful opinion to guide me. My husband works with one of the security forces, and I would not like to mention name. Recently, he was arrested and jailed for drug trafficking. I know he would never do such a thing. I guess he was framed up by someone. Though I do not have proof, I believe it was because he was given a double promotion for his outstanding performances, which puts him slightly above his colleagues and direct superior. All of a sudden, some drugs were found in his bag during an official trip abroad. I followed the case for 2 months, and now I finally met with the highest authority that can help him secure his release. The man turns out to be someone I know way back when I was a youth corps member. He was my boss at the place I served, and he did everything to sleep with me then, but I refused. Now he wants to sleep with me because he has the power to release my husband. I don't know what to do. I am tempted to consider it because I really want my husband out as soon as possible. He has spent 3 months there already. From the allegation, he may be jailed for a long time. Should I tell my husband about this to seek his consent, or should I go ahead and do it and secure his release?
Wow.
As much as I know.
I'll be like bicycle.
Before we address the story, I just want to look at situations where people in authority or people in power, people that have maybe probably your bosses or something, they want to get down. It's not just the man to woman thing. Sometimes it's happened with some female
Of
bosses.
course.
So why do you think such things happened? Let me hear your view as regards to that,
Trying to speak for everyone is impossible.
Of course.
So it would just be my opinion.
Okay.
I believe it's just the human instinct of being wicked, of being vain, of being greedy, of being unsatisfied. Even the richest people on earth, I believe, Elon Musk, he still wants Twitter. They're still never satisfied. So it's just a human basic instinct of wanting either what's not yours, like Caesar did, Alexander did, all these conquerors, So if we bring it down to our small 2022, the small Oga wants that small person. Even that small gate man wants that kuli woman because she's small. So it's just the big bank is small bank. That's what I believe. So it's just another situation of a greedy or vain human being showing out his basic instincts. My opinion.
So you think it's instincts. Mara, what do you think?
Well, for some people it's lost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Instincts.
They just send something and they want to have it. And some people, they just want to tell you, I'm your boss. If I can have you whether you want it or not. So it just depends.
If you were to be this woman, would you seek your husband's consent? Somebody somewhere wants to do, like, should I, give in so you can come out of this jail? If they judge this matter, you are going to jail. Like, you're going to be there for a long time. Would you seek his consent?
First, it's not a life sentence. Drug trafficking is not a life sentence. So one day he must be out. So I won't even do it. I'm going to tell him that this is what it takes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, you seek his consent. It's not like you're seeking it because you want to do it.
No. I will let him know this is what it should take to release you from this place. This is what this man wants.
What if he says, go ahead? Would you think he thinks less of you? Like he doesn't value you?
When a man is desperate, he can say anything.
Anything.
Yes. Who doesn't like freedom? So a man can tell you to do it. But in some culture in Nigeria, you can't even do it. It's a taboo. Even when you decide to do it for this man, what happens in his community? But after you're done, you have this guilt. You are afraid that something might happen to you. You know how those barbaric they like to enslave a woman. Then the man is free
to do
whatever he wants. So first and foremost, I won't even advise her to do it. If I were the one, I won't do it. But in another case, if you were Randy before, if you've been sowing wild oats, so this is not new. Yes, if it's not new to you, you don't even need to tell the man, just do your thing. Yes, you're going to do this for freedom. You've been doing it before, maybe for
pleasure or
something else.
Oh, I see
so
where you're coming
if it's
from.
for saving somebody and it's your normal thing, fine. But if it's not my normal way of life, come on, I won't.
Of course,
do
it will be very difficult.
Yeah.
So,
doesn't make sense.
Ufo, do you think if your wife walks up to you and say, "Babe, you're in here, and to get you out of here, this is what it is," what would be your reaction?
Spicy with Phina is always a show we can speak sincerely.
Of
right?
course, feel free.
I've lived 35 years on this earth, and my opinion is no one could ever say what they would do when that situation comes.
You're right, though.
Let me speak from my opinion and maybe my past relationships. I did date a girl who I believe if we were still together, the relationship and how deep our love was, she would do that and I would still forgive her. That's how deep our love was. But I cannot speak for the next couple. They might not have spent that same time both of us have spent, that understanding we both had. But now, the current person I am dating now, I hold her in such a great esteem. I would not even think of that. I would not forgive that if it was done. She would not do that if the approach. She would rather I would do my time and come out like she said. So I think it's different opinions and different situations. I've given you an example of my ex. She would have, and I would have forgiven it. But this current one, I don't think she would, and I don't think I would forgive
her. So that means if she goes ahead to do it without your consent, just to secure your release, and much later you find out, and she says, "Baby, it's because of you."
Yes.
You mean you will not forgive her? Like your marriage will? Is that a deal breaker for you? Like you say, go.
And like I said, just because it's spicy with Phina, I have to speak the truth.
Of course.
It will never be the same.
I see.
I can forgive her, but will I ever look at her the same? Will she ever come out of the shower with her bathrobe and there's a look I always had when I see her do that? But now when she comes out with that bathrobe, am I now seeing her taking a shower from the other man's house?
Oh Lord.
What is haunting my own mind? What is haunting my own heart? But I have verbally said I forgive you. But is the love still the same? Do you still look at me the same? Different opinions.
So if you went as far as doing that without letting your husband know.
Men can be so deep.
That's, you know,
We
and at the end
women,
of
we
the
find
day,
it difficult to forgive a cheating spouse. Not once, not twice, not thrice. We forgive and that's
let
it.
go. Let's assume it's a more serious crime.
Yes.
Would you rather rot in jail than give your wife the consent to go ahead?
No, I would. That's why I say it's Phina. It's a very big question. Your topics are always very huge on this show. But I'm saying, okay, Indonesia, drug trafficking, I'm on a death sentence. Yes, let's go that deep. It has nothing to do with Nigeria. There's nobody to bribe. And this Indonesian man says he needs to sleep with my wife. And she comes to my jail and says, "Baby, if I do this to this man, you'll be free tomorrow." All right. I think we need a commercial break to think about it. I'm just playing.
Okay, fine. Let's go on a quick commercial break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. We'll be right back.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Welcome back. It's the Spicy with Phina, and we've been having a very interesting conversation. So, Ufot, you said we have to go on a quick break because I hope you've thought about it. That's which you wanted to think about. The Indonesian man says he wants to. Let me hear
says he wants to sleep with my wife unless I die tomorrow, and my wife comes to my jail cell and says, "Baby, let me do this unless you're dying tomorrow." I will tell her to do it.
Okay, because
viewers, I'm sure you get a lot of, "Oh, crazy man."
I won't be able to forgive.
Wait, hold. I think I'll tell her to do it. And because since we stretch the situation to death, because the more you stress the situation, you're stressing my answer as well.
Of course.
So because you saved me from death, I wouldn't call it jail anymore.
Of course.
Whoever in this life will save this your one life God has given you from leaving you and keep it. It deserves any forgiveness and all the forgiveness you can give.
I see. Okay,
but if it was, I was going to serve 10 years, 20 years, like she rightly said, jail is not a life sentence. Another woman will say, "Do the time, come back, I'll be waiting for you." But if you stretch the point and say it's a death sentence, then if she does it, she deserves all the forgiveness and all the love.
If that's the case, I think it all boils down to our mind. Because it is the same act. But the fact that the situation is different.
Phina, it's one life to live.
I know.
It's one life to live.
She slept. So if you cannot forgive her, because if you cannot forgive her, if it's just jail term and she did it for you and you were out, your mind is the one playing that trick on you that she slept with this man. So now that she saved you from dying, your mind is not telling you that she slept with this man. You're able to forgive.
But let's get it right for the viewers so they're not confused. I said for death, she can do it and she deserves all the forgiveness and love.
And you'll be able to forgive.
For 20 years, 40 years in jail, I should be able to either make my way out or do the time. That would be what would qualify me to be a MAN, a man. Okay. And she would love me for that time. But I would not be a man if she has to pay my debts to come out. Even she, we always say, man, I won't look at her the same. She won't look at me the same.
So let's look at if the table is being turned the other way. Like the woman is in jail.
And the
And
man
you
is a
have to
male.
do the
The man is a
shit.
male prostitute, and with my colored nails, I might just be. I'm playing for now.
So if the table were to be turned and you were to do the needful, for her to be out, would you seek her consent?
Men just being men, sorry, was that question for me or for?
Yes, for you.
Men just being domineering and being man's world, and taking permission to do a thing like that you would not see a lot of
Something
it.
he's been doing since. What is he taking permission for?
So you think there's no need for permission?
All right. At this, yes. No. Don't say what you're doing, sis. I'm just saying, it varies. African men, I believe, would not do that permission. They believe, don't worry, I did it for you. But I believe if you cross the borders, the man actually has to ask her permission as well, the same way she did.
She did.
That's why I just differentiated it. And I'm sure the viewers understand with me, because I would not be the man that built this house and I bought land and you now enter trouble. I now have to sleep with my neighbor for you and you're still complaining. There's a lot of, are you okay? You just pack on, But the way it is supposed to be, even though this is his house, even though this is mine, he's still supposed to go, I'm about to share my body with this person because of this. And most times you see the woman would agree to it. Okay. Just because of that consent you came for. Not really the
So Mara, if he didn't take any permission from you and you find out much later that he did it, what would be your... You will say, I'm very sure that you didn't do it because of me. You did it because you were eyeing that woman.
Our question would be, how many rounds?
No. I want to
they always ask how many rounds.
For my freedom, for me to be, come on, we'll make love, we'll kiss.
So when you find out, everything will just be all right. You will not assume he's been doing that with her all the while and then use your release as excuse.
Hey, for me, I might be a little bit crazy, but I don't believe any man is free. I don't believe any man is a saint. It's something he's been doing before. So he did it to save me. Fine, we'll kiss and make love and we are fine. I want even to say, why did you do it? For what?
Really?
Did you enjoy it? Was she better than me?
Conversation.
you might say that now.
When it happens.
But I believe
Because for all you know, he might go back there again. This time around, it's not for your
going
release.
back.
All she needs to do is watch a sex tape of what happened, and trust me, you won't speak like this. If you see what your husband was doing to another woman that he has not done to you, the more you watch it, when he wants to stop you, say, leave this thing, let it play.
Who will show me the sex tape? Nobody. The thing is, if when you want to look at the woman the first time, when you look at the woman the first time, most times you don't commit sin. It's when you turn to look the second time, then you see more things. So if you did it the first time to save my life, fine. Even if I see the sex tape, I'll be able to swallow that bitter pill. But going a second time, guy, you don't cross the line.
Have a problem.
Yes.
And what is the possibility that you do that 20 years there and come back and your wife all those 20 years has not been shinoing?
There's no possibility of her being faithful to me because this would be... anyways, loyalty with time, it fades. It's not like I said from the start of your show, I spoke about instincts. Real life situations. We're not on Spicy with Phina to talk about fantasy.
Of course.
Your questions are real life letters, right?
Of course they are.
So real life, you cannot say you're just going to jail for. Even 20 years is a long time. The body was not meant to wait 20 years for somebody. That's just you trying to make your heart and your personal mind do that. But the body, God did not build the body for that. And especially in that prime time, you're in that man, because obviously it's marriage that brought you in the marriage. So you're in that prime time, procreation time, growing up time. You're that time that you're supposed to be with somebody. Then just because of his problem, you decide to switch God's plan, which is to procreate, and say, I'll wait. It's impossible. You know why? Doing that is supernatural, and you are not supernatural. We are natural.
We're natural.
Yes, as far as you pee, as far as you eat, as far as you bathe, the urges will come. You might hold it for 2 years, 3 years, but you must also know masturbation as well is going out of it's just slowly going. So you don't say, I didn't sleep with her, I used the dildo or whatever you call it. You're already swinging. All it just remains is for one nice FedEx guy to knock your door and you're like, guy. So it just needed a little push. So that's the fading. So you wouldn't want to put yourself in a fading situation where you now have to hide to date, hide to see the FedEx guy, hide to see. So you rather just keep it plain and say, oh, you have 40 years, baby, can we do this? The man says, baby, I don't think we can do this. You say, okay, bye-bye. I think so.
Sometimes the fear of the unknown. Some of these women, when they do these things, some of them will not sleep well. It's a thing of the heart.
Mental health.
Yeah, it starts, until they have to confess. Yeah. Or if there's no confession, who will tell the man? And I know the girls will not see it. So
okay, so let's say there's no restrictions, from this traditional barbaric thing.
No restriction. And it's 20 years.
And you did not do it to set him free.
The way she looks, there's no restriction. And it's 20 years. She looks like, you're giving me free hand. She looks like, hey, don't play with me. No restriction, 20 years. I will answer you my real answer.
Now you said 20 years. Let's be realistic here. For drug trafficking, people that I know, they don't stay too long. And if you have your money somehow, but this one doesn't want money, right? 20 years is a very long time. Let's be realistic. You don't even have kids. Are you going to wait for 20 years before you start making kids?
And when you come out, it's gay.
Because obviously.
What happened?
It's not just gay. So many things will be wrong with him after 20 years. Then he just comes back. He might even dislike you for not doing it. Maybe he finds out that you were supposed to save him, but you didn't even try to do it. And you have suffered for 20 years. Maybe waiting.
For him.
I know you're not Mary Magdalene. You will not even wait. 20 years is a very, very long time. Like he said, you masturbate at some point. You get tired. You need to feel warm. You need to feel a man, So, realistically, if it is up to 20 years, girl, save your husband.
And I think while you're discussing that with him, trying to seek his consent, if he says no, you put these things on the table. Like, this is the number of years that you might most likely be sentenced. And this number of years, what's going to become of us within that years? So that if he's looking at, I don't want you to sleep with him for my freedom, just know that sleeping might just happen much later when you are now locked up there for many years.
And first you start visiting, with time you get tired.
But do they allow them to have any form of intimacy during visits? Like just come and...
High profile.
It's called a conjugal visit.
Nelson Mandela, something like that.
Okay, if that's the case now, it's been serviced now.
No, that one is
it
not
can never
the
be the same.
It can never be the same.
Yeah, you're being serviced and there are two bodyguards going, I bet you're making noise.
I'll be fast about it. So it doesn't make sense.
So your final words for this woman, he says she should,
I believe it depends on the situation. Okay. If because she didn't give us details in her letter, if the man is heading for a one-way place, not coming back, madam, please move on with your life. Help him if you can. Send him a commissary, send him some money. But with your own life, move on. Come back to the world of the living. A dead fish could swim downstream, but it takes only a live one to swim upstream. So she's alive. Keep swimming up, darling. Keep swimming up.
Your final words for her?
Just do it and be free.
Just do it and set him free.
Set him free and you will be free too.
Okay.
Because in as much as he's there, you're not free.
So,
but like I said, if it's not a long time, but since we decided to take 20 years as a yardstick, no. But if it's just maybe 5 years, please don't do it.
Okay, but you guys are not saying she should tell the husband at any point. Like, there's no need for all that.
She should seek consent. She should.
She should tell him. Maybe probably both of them can join heads together. And,
Transparency always works.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys have done so well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. As usual, Spicy with Phina have something for our guest, and I keep giving the women this particular one, so I think I should do the men with this.
I can be a man sometimes.
Okay, there you go. Thank you so much for coming.
Welcome there.
Thank you.
Spicy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much
for coming.
Spicy with Phina.
Yeah, Spicy with Phina. You've come to the end of today's episode of Spicy with Phina. Should you be the writer of this letter, you've heard what my guests have said. look at what works for you and be able to weigh your options and see how best you can handle the situation. If it's a life sentence, first thing first, you have to discuss with your husband to see how you guys can work things out. If it's a life sentence, of course, you'll be able to come to a reasonable conclusion on what to do. And if it's not a life sentence, you guys will be able to find a way around it. There's no, as much as we know that the request from the man is really not a nice one, but what can we say? Crazy things are happening. You'll be fine last. You'll be fine last. Until I come your way again next time with another interesting episode of Spicy with Phina, please kindly follow us on all our social media handles. As you can see on the screen, kindly call the numbers you can see on your screen if you have stories to share with us. And also, you can send your stories to spicywithphina@gmail.com. It's been an awesome time with you all. I'll come your way again next time with very, 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 very beautiful, interesting, amazing story for you guys. Until I see you again next time, it's bye-bye.
You'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. Spicy with Phina is a talk show that addresses life issues. Free to share with us.
You'll be okay.